So as you can see, kind of by the picture, the lighting situation I have going on right now is a little bit different from what it normally is. The main light that I'm normally filming with, the mounting bracket broke. So I do have it on a light stand, but I can no longer put modifiers or anything heavy on it. I'm kind of using it to cast a light on the ceiling to light the scene. Otherwise it would be pretty dark. I also have this tube light here to help light me. With that being said, today's video, we're going to be taking a look at a new piece of gear. I'm going to set it up and just kind of go over it. And then at the end of this video, I'm going to update you guys on what's coming in the future. This is a 65 watt bicolor cob light. So we're going to unbox this thing. We're going to set it up. I'm going to show you what's inside the box, of course, and then kind of show you guys the light output and performance of this light. So if you're a new creator in the market looking for a new lighting situation, whether experienced or whatever, if you're using it as key light, fill light, or maybe even a practical light, for the price point, maybe this is something that might fit your needs. So hang out, let's get into it. So one of the reasons I picked up this light was because, one, it came in a case, but two, it gave me the portability option to be on the go. The current light I'm using now is only DC powered, where this is a smaller portable light, and it gives you the option to power it via V-mount battery or 2 MPF batteries. So we'll get to that, but we're going to go ahead and open this. So like I said, it does come in a case, and I was kind of skeptical picking up this light because the build quality, the housing around the light is plastic, kind of like the other light I'm using. It's small, so I didn't really know what kind of weight this little light was going to support, because for my main light I have a 34-inch parabolic softbox, which isn't huge, but I wanted it to be able to support the weight. Hopefully it does. So this is a pressed styrofoam case. There's a couple of other companies that make travel cases, storage cases like this. In the box you get some paperwork. I'm just going to briefly go over this. I'm not going to go too technical, just so we can change the lighting and give you guys better lighting. I am going to test this lighting in several different outputs, so the minimum and then the maximum, and kind of range between. There is the light. It's a little bitty. So you get a little mini reflector here. Now a lot of people, based on reviews I've watched of this specific light or the series of lights, say this mini reflector is kind of useless unless you're using it to bounce light off a wall or ceiling, kind of like what I'm doing now with the old light, or you're just creating a scene for dynamic effect. So you get a little mini reflector, and this is Bowen's mount also. That was one of the things I was looking for when looking for a new light, was the modifier I have is a Bowen's mount, so that needed to be a thing. Next you get your mounting bracket. If I can pull this out here. This is the mounting bracket that comes with the light. So it is an articulating bracket. This is all metal, which is another selling point that made me choose this light. So you get a 1/4-inch removable spigot. It allows you to mount this light vertically or horizontally. So it gives you a couple of different options for mounting this light in placement, so you kind of have some flexibility. Next we get a giant, this is probably like a 12-foot power cable, standard DC wall outlet. You get your power brick here with barrel adapter. And then, last but not least, for the cords, you get a V-mount You can see that V-mount, threaded barrel adapter to dual Sony MPF style batteries. So you can use Sony MPF 550 batteries like these little guys here. These are 550 batteries. You can use the bigger ones, which are the 970s. If you want to go all in, you can use a V-mount battery. So you got the V-mount attachment up here. This is a newer battery. So you have that option as well. So you got a couple different power options. You have DC, the 550, the 970, or V-mount. This kit does not come with a D-tap to barrel jack for the actual light itself, so you would have to purchase that additionally if you were going to run this V-mount. But for this, it comes with this adapter plate. All you need is the MPF 550 batteries. So that's how we're going to run this today, just for this demo. And then last thing in the box, we get the tiny little light. The thing is super tiny. Again, plastic housing. You get a fan on the back, your little LCD screen there. On the other side is your V-mount attachment, your power on off switch, and your DC barrel jack. And then over here is going to be your knob for adjusting the light. Up here is your little switch to remove the lens cover. And that's what the light looks like. Hang out, give me a second, let me get this set up and we'll go from there. This just kind of gives you a general overall idea of what this looks like running portable battery power. I'm going to go ahead and throw this on the light stand and put the modifier on it. We'll come back and I'm going to show you what this light looks like up on the stand in its normal usual position. So this is 20% in a 34-inch modifier with a grid on it. So this is a little darker than the normal scenes I'm typically shooting, but I think probably 30 or 40% is going to be about the standard look that I'm normally shooting in. So again, this is 20% on the 34-inch modifier. Alright, so now we are at 30%. Again, all the settings are still the same, still at 5500 Kelvin. This is at 30% in a 34-inch modifier. So this is probably typically the look I'm going for. For such a little light, it has already an impressive amount of light output. Concern purposes, this was one of the deciding factors of buying this light. Was I wasn't really sure how much light output this thing was going to produce. So at 30% already, this is significantly more than I was expecting. I still have this little tube light on, so I'm going to go ahead and turn that off. And as you can see, that tube light does play a factor into the lighting situation, so we could probably crank this up to 40%. So let's do that now. Alrighty, so now this is 40% in the 34-inch modifier. Now, for most of the content I've been shooting in the past, I've had the small rig RC120B set at 10% just due to that being a 120 watt light. It has a much stronger output than this, but this is 40%, and from the footage I'm seeing right now, this looks to be about the same color and lighting that I'm seeing using the other light. So again, 40% in a 34-inch modifier with a grid. This is 60% in same settings, everything. This is already getting to be a little uncomfortable. The light is probably 4.5, 5 feet from me, so it's just right out of frame. 60%, this is already more than enough. You can see what went from a dark room to now. You can visibly see that the highlights are starting to get to the point of clipping. It's not super unbearable, but again, this gives you an idea of the light output for such a small bicolor light. So again, 60% in a 34-inch modifier with a grid. Let's do 80%. So this is 80% now, and now this is getting to be uncomfortable, where having this much light in your face, it gets to be a little much. You can see just by the skin color on my hands that highlights are being blown out. Again, this is 80% on the Amaran by Aperture 60XS. It looks good. I'm already impressed. It's holding the weight of the modifier pretty well. Let's go ahead and do 100%, then we'll go back to 40% and close out this video. Alright, so this is 100% on the Amaran by Aperture 60XS. This is super bright. I really don't know when you would need to run this light at 100% unless you were in just completely pitch black environment. Even now I'm in a pitch black room and 100% is overkill. This lets you really see the output of this light, what it can do. We are running this via 2 NPF 550 batteries. So if you were running this light at 100%, I don't know how long these batteries would last. This is mainly to show you the light output of this light. So we're going to set this back to 40% and we're going to close out this video. Alright, so we are back at 40%. This is much more manageable. This is typically, again, the look that I shoot in. Overall I'm impressed with this light for the price point. I think it was like $215 after tax. I'll put links to this light in the description, as well as the modifier I'm using and any other little batteries, accessories, cables. They will all be down in the description, so you don't have to scour the internet like I did. Yeah, overall for the price point and the size, I'm pretty impressed. Only time will tell how well the frame of the mount holds up with the weight of the modifier, but anything bigger than 34 inches I would not mount on this little bitty light. It probably was not designed for that, so you're probably pushing it at 34-inch modifiers. Anything bigger than that I would not. Again, links for all this stuff will be down in the description. As far as future updates, I've gotten a couple comments of people being like, you know, where's the bass covers, where's the drum covers? And it's crazy to think that I haven't done a drum cover in over a year now. I actually just recently was talking to somebody and they were like, hey, we saw drums in the background of one of your videos. What's up with those? And if those of y'all who are paying attention, there are images in specific scenes floating around in some of my videos of drums that I bought several months ago, but I have not set them up or played them because I've been waiting to make a video on the setup process and kind of show you guys this new kit. Life has just been crazy. I haven't had time to even set them up, play them. They've been sitting on my storage rack waiting for me to make a video, so there is lots of content coming soon. I have lots more gear review and unboxing videos to do, as well as dealing with the new drum kit. So if that's something that interests you, do me a favor, hit that subscribe button and turn on the bell for post notifications. You'll be notified anytime I upload content like this or music related in general. All those little things help me grow as a content creator on this beautiful platform we call YouTube. So with that being said, I want to thank you all for watching. We will see you next time.